What the fuck?
I don't know why it's doing that. I was just trying to add it to the side.
Uh, I was like, what? What is going on?
I wonder, is it because the scene is selected? Hold on.
Oh, I think probably. Go. Yeah, you can go ahead and select it. It's fine. I was just wondering why I was doing that.
New scene. Oh, I see. Well, what if I want to just fuck with it without it being on the screen?
I don't think you can.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wonder if it canceled it then. It said it was downloading.
Oh, 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 oh.
Have you spoken to Nelson?
Nope.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yup, 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 yup. Do, do, do. Oh my fucking god. Bro, TikTok is just pissing me off. It's just fucking annoying. I need another monitor. It's just whack. Mm. Oh my god. There we go. There we go. There we go.
Man, you know what's some shit?
What's that?
These damn fucking I got the we got the Rode mics, right?
Hmm.
You clearly know that. And the damn thing, the charging case died on me. And now I got to send the shit in. So I got to charge everything individually. And I noticed that I think the video quality was really good on your reel
Hmm.
was because you shot from your camera
Hmm.
and like just you get that better dynamic.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did. But when I went to go charge it, just the case just won't go. There's no reset, so that's just kind of a pain in the ass.
Hmm.
Let me see. Thing's still downloading.
Easy.
All right,
Doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo.
and we're gonna get this a
Oh.
single. Back to welcome. All right. Hmm. Are we doing a countdown for? I got to get a drink or something. Or are we just gonna go straight into it?
We'll go straight into it, but I can wait for you. That's fine. Are you doing the fucking, you know what I'm saying?
You say who?
I say you doing the intro or am I doing the intro?
No, that's what I recorded.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's
so we can
already
go straight
done.
into it. Yeah.
And then, like I said, I'm just gonna grab maybe like something to drink, which I should have had done. But
Unbelievable. You
well,
alcoholic.
what the hell you been doing?
What do you mean? I've been drinking my liquid death.
Uh, I got so much shit. So yeah, so now I got to get a different hard drive. There's like these hard drives that are like 100 and some odd dollars. They're like orange, and they're
Mhm.
like waterproof, fireproof.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
And so yeah, the shit crashed on me. I would have had more done with the intro like I liked, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's all good. Oh, no. Go back. All right.
All right, I'll be right back.
All right. I just fucking ruined it. Uh, holy fuck, dude. Oh, is that it? Alright, alright. Alright, here we go. Fuck it.
If I had to give anybody advice, which I don't know why you would ask me, but if you did, I would say always keeping an open mind, especially when it comes to trying different things, because you'll never know what you'll learn about yourself, and you never know that you'll find something that was just meant for you. You know, living a life of just wandering and not knowing the unknown, not knowing really where you fit in or where you're supposed to be. That is a terrible feeling. And I've been in that situation. And it's almost like a constant thing. Once you really kind of have an idea or somewhat of a direction, it gets a little bit easier. But when you're just kind of wandering, it never feels good. But I can only say is, in order to have something like that come in, is you must be willing to also try different things and being in a different environment and situation, because that's when the new things come to you. If you're doing the same thing, you'll never know. It's like walking down the same trail, and you know every tree, you know where everything is. You've done it millions of times, and there's other trails, and they seem risky because you never know where it's going to lead. Am I going to have to walk longer? How is the terrain? But in the possibilities, there are so many opportunities. And so that's why I always recommend, don't be afraid to try new things. But I'm Andrew Mendoza. I am one of the hosts of the podcast, The Legacy of Ours, along with my co-hosts, Christian Nieto and Shannon Nelson. Now, for those of you who've been with us for a while, we want to let you know that Shannon's got some things going on with work, so he's doing some transitions. So he's going to be taking a step out for a minute. So now you just have me and Chris. Lucky you. So for the sake of him being gone, we are doing a different segment. And so what we're doing is a segment called What Would You Do? And they're just scenarios that we have come up with individually, and we're going to share them and what we would do in those scenarios. And if we've been in those scenarios, how do we go about them? And what was the end game? How did it end? Did it end good? Did it end not so good? And what would you do different? And with knowing your experience, what advice would you give? And so please comment, because I'm sure a lot of you have been through these scenarios and you may have done something that worked really well. So this is a very give or take type of episode, and we love it. If you haven't followed us on Instagram, Facebook, we go live on YouTube, TikTok, we got Twitch. Please do. We appreciate the support, and the show starts now.
What up?
What up? What up? That was a good intro, bro. That was really good.
Really? That's not
Yeah.
what you told me off camera. You said it was the worst thing you've ever seen.
Well,
You
I
said
told
should
you that
never do it again.
I told you that I was gonna have to act like I liked it for the show. Now we're
Yeah.
gonna have to edit this out so that way viewers think that we like each other.
That is true. That is true. We really do hate each other. You know, hey, I got the bomb in the mail. I defused it, you motherfucker. Good try. It came in it came in creatine. So
Yeah,
nigga,
yeah.
you almost got my ass. But
I knew you like working out, so yeah.
oh
But
man.
anyways,
So okay, Halloween is over.
it is
right?
over.
What'd you do?
Well, for Halloween, we do a little traditional thing like everybody else. We go trick or treating and stuff. We go visit family so that way they can take pictures of the kids and how ridiculous they look. We didn't dress up,
Right?
luckily.
None of y'all?
Well, I mean, my wife and I didn't dress up.
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah. But I mean, other than that, it was fun. Loving the St. Louis weather, dude. I don't think we've ever had this type of weather in the fall.
Oh, really? That's right. You guys go from,
we went
Antarctica to Antarctica, right?
No, we went from Kentucky to Colorado to Alaska, and I don't think we've ever had fucking weather like this just to walk around and not have
It
a
is
jacket
it
and
is
stuff.
pretty nice. The thing is, and here's the question, and this is how it's been happening the last few years, is our fall, we
Mhm.
never really get it. It goes from nice weather. So
Mhm.
like what? We're in the 60s right now.
Yeah.
There's going to be a week where then it could drop to like low 30s, then low 20s, and then it just goes straight into cold weather. And so, yeah, we'll
I can
see.
see that.
You know, it's nice though.
It is nice.
It's
It is
nice. This is the perfect weather for me.
Bro, I can bet anything in Alaska right now. It's
Mhm.
at least 2 feet of snow
Already?
already.
You
This
don't
is
keep in
disgusting.
touch with anybody over there? Or can you
Yeah.
not?
I
Or
mean, yeah, I can keep in touch and stuff, and I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Halloween's over. Oh, what did we do?
Yeah. What did you guys do? I'm gonna try to get away from that.
Uh, it was busy because I went and got the older two
Mm-hmm.
and Lacey and Abel. We went. I got them. We hung out. We walked to. We didn't walk to. We were walking through Tower Grove Park. Have you ever been there? It's like
Yeah, yeah. Well, we haven't officially been inside of it, but we have passed by.
yeah. Okay. So I haven't been there in a minute. Now, that's where we used to work at. That's where
Mm-hmm.
Wilbert is. It's in Alpha Arsenal and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot.
That's
And
that
so,
reminds me of that story.
well, yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll tell that story. Or should we? Ain't nobody
I
gonna
don't
know
know.
it was him,
Yeah, we
right?
can change the name. All right, go on. My
But dude,
apologies.
like, I haven't been there in a minute. And I got Lacey and Abel because we're waiting on Maddie to bring Alice and Gus, and we're gonna meet up and do this. There was like this fantasy, oh, not fantasy, it's like a Disney trunk or treat thing, and you kind of walk through this place, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, um, so I had the kids. We need to kill some time, so we go to Tower Grove, and we get out, and I just kept looking down, and we're walking, and I'm like, there's an awful lot of fucking broken glass all over this place. People must get their cars broken into a lot. Like there's like a strip of like broken glass. And
Really?
I'm like, I'm walking through, I'm like, people just jogging and shit, just having a good time. And like it's nothing. I'm there and I'm like, what the hell is happening? And I was like, I didn't want to be here long. And I didn't have my piece on me either. So, you
Oh,
know,
okay.
yeah. But anyway, we did that and we did a trunk or treat there. And then we came home and did it for a little bit. And so, it's over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. So what do you think about Halloween? That is like one of my least favorite
Yeah.
holidays,
Really?
just
You get scared?
because. No, I don't get scared at all. Matter of fact, we went to Creepy World and the Limp
Oh,
Mansion,
I seen that. I seen
and
that.
bro, it's like they're only getting worse. What's
It
going?
used to be good. Like
Used to be
I
good.
can't. What was the year that I went?
Like before I joined the army and stuff,
Mhm.
me and my wife used to love going there. Like it
Yeah.
was a must have to go there.
Yeah.
And then, finally coming back out of the army and stuff, and we come and experience it, and it's just like, all right, this is a
So
good little
like,
walk.
yeah. Dude, the first time I ever did a haunted house clearly was in St. Louis. They
Mhm.
don't got that. At least I know they ain't got that shit in New York. But the first time I got invited by a dude, we went and it was a group of us and I was fucking terrified. Like this is not the shit that I do. I grew up obviously Christian and
Yeah,
it was the darkness. We walked in and there was a big like almost like a demon that was like it was coming out. It was some decoration and I just kept staring at it. And I'm like, I think I'm going to die in here. And then and you go in obviously like what they do and it was, I was scared and it was good. But then, like you said, as the years go on, they're just not as good.
they're not.
They
They're
were
not.
like, I was terrified. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, yeah. But
It's crazy because they don't advertise it that much anymore. Because I remember when I was
yeah, they used to have a whole bunch of commercials.
a whole bunch of commercials, like every fucking, what is that called, billboard would have Creepy World or Limp Mansion or
Oh
something.
yeah.
And now that I don't think I've seen one, or maybe
Now,
I've probably seen one or two, but I'm just like, what's going on?
are the how is the pricing? Is it competitive? You know what I mean? Like, or is it like
It
I'm
was
paying too much?
$50 per person.
I wonder what they were back then. I think what year did we go? I think it was a lot of
Pretty sure
maybe
it was like,
2013. I mean,
yeah,
2013. I was like going a lot. It was like 20s, right? It was like, was it $20 still? So
yeah.
nothing changed
I'm
that.
pretty sure it was about $20.
Okay. And you said
Cause
it's 50 now?
yeah, it was like $50.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
insane.
I accidentally bought the Christmas uh
Yeah, when
What
did
is it
they
called?
start doing that shit? Like,
Uh,
yeah, they have like a Christmas like haunted house.
Krampus. Yeah, it's a Krampus
Oh,
haunted
Krampus.
house.
Yeah.
So I accidentally bought it and I didn't realize it. So like my total came out to be like fucking 280 or some shit like that. And I'm like, God damn, this must be really good. So I'm going up to the
Holy shit.
fucking and it's crazy because it was only me and my wife.
Right.
And I was like, why the fuck is it 280? So, whatever. So we go into the and they're trying
Not
to
see,
scan
hey,
my
y'all know that this dude got a lot of money.
no,
Geez, like
no.
280, I guess.
so
Most
we're
people
trying
be
to
like,
scan
what
our
the fuck?
tickets, right?
Yeah.
We're trying to scan our tickets, and the guy's like, "Yo, man, this is not for. It's not for today." I was like, "What do you mean it's not for today? Like today is the last day. Like
You
what are
got
you
your hand,
talking
you
about?
got
Like
your hand on your gun ready to shoot this motherfucker. I just paid 280.
I'm
You
about to hit a
understand?
lick. About to hit a, you think you're not gonna let me go through? I just paid.
Right.
Yeah.
So then that's when you realize what?
So then that's when the guy was like, "Oh, well, let me look at your phone if you don't mind." So yeah, I was like, "Yeah, all right, yeah, go ahead, take the
Just don't
phone.
swipe over.
Yeah,
Like,
just
let him
don't
fuck.
swipe. Don't look at the pictures."
Please don't look at the pictures. For God's sake, don't look at the pictures.
So he's looking at it. He's like, "Oh, this is for Krampus." I was like, "Who's Krampus?"
I'm Christian, motherfucker. I'm not
Right?
Krampus, nigga.
Yeah, I was like, "Man, that's
What
not
kind
me,
of name is
homie."
Krampus?
And he was like, "No, this is for the Christmas haunted house." I was like, "You guys have a Christmas haunted house?" And they're like, "Yeah." I was like, "So I bought the wrong tickets?" He's like, "No, you have your tickets. They're just here." He's like, "But you bought 4." I was like, "Oops, what?" So yeah, so now I have the Krampus haunted houses for my wife and I, and then
When is the
and
dates on that?
let me check real quick.
Like, is it
Yeah.
around still? Like, like November, I assume,
Mm, I
or is it
think
still
it's
like
in December.
really? It's be cold. Wow, you never
Yeah.
know. St. Louis
Damn,
weather's
bro.
crazy.
I hope I still got them.
That's hilarious. And
Yeah,
then
so
you said overall the experience was like meh.
yeah, it wasn't that good. Like,
Did you get
okay, so I've never been scared to go into a haunted house, right?
right?
Even going through the
You-
haunted house, I was never like I never fully like had a jump scare, right? I
Okay,
mean, there
okay.
are times where I get like nervous or something, like, oh, this is getting good, and then whatever. But this time, it, it, I it was literally like a walk in the park.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like my youngest
Birds
child
and
would
shit?
have
That's
been
crazy.
okay. Yeah.
Really?
Now
Oh,
now
oh. So you're talking about like just the and like the environment, like how they did it,
I
like
mean the environment was okay and everything. It was pretty smoky and everything. The only good
yeah,
part about it is
oh
that they had this part where it was like completely smoky, like from the waist down, and they
yeah.
had lasers like on the very top of the smoke, and that looked fucking dope as fuck. And I was like, holy shit! And this guy was like jumping like from under the smoke and then trying to scare you and stuff. And he was like,
Oh,
I don't know
really?
if there was like 2 or 3, but he just kept doing that and just run on one side, which was pretty cool. Just
Yeah.
didn't scare me.
Huh.
Yeah. It was like I don't yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, I think guys like you would have a problem because I'm pretty sure you guys like seen some shit, and you you know, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
this don't
Like,
scare me no more. Homie, I've
right?
been in
Exactly.
Afghanistan.
I've been shot at. I shot people. I jumped off of roofs, stabbed motherfuckers in their necks and wrote James Bond shit. This ain't gonna scare me, goddamn it! I see you coming a mile away. So maybe
Now
it's a
it
you
it,
problem.
it,
So
it, prob- it probably was. It probably was. It's cuz like I was yeah, I am pretty like inclined for like attention to detail and stuff. So
mhm.
I'm scanning the entire room, looking
Oh
for any
yeah,
type of movement and
this
everything, and
nigga's like
I
John
can
Wick.
see
You
it.
can't think
Yeah,
straight.
I can see it from a mile away. And my wife will even ask me, she's like, "Where they at? Where they at?" I'm like, "Oh, top left corner. They're about to jump down or some shit like that." You know what I'm saying?
Get
Like,
the hell out of here! This nigga calling plays. He's like, "All right, baby,
so
listen, I already mapped this out. I see him right there. He jumping here. Then they're gonna let you by, but then the other guy right there, he's gonna jump out. That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. So it was fun.
That's
I mean,
actually
my
pretty
wife
dope.
was pretty. She had a few jump scares and stuff.
Mhm.
But no, it was it was fun, I
That's
guess.
dope. Okay, so do you think so? I don't who. So what was the theme? Sometimes I always question what I should say.
Mhm.
So was it like what was the theme? Because they always have like a theme. I
It
think
wasn't
like yeah,
it wasn't a theme though. Like
like
you
there
know how
was
you can tell like there's a certain mood or certain something that they follow throughout the entire um I guess like place or whatever, or a haunted
yeah.
house. No, it was literally different type of monsters. Um,
Oh
and no offense to the females or anything, but the females were terrible
oh
whenever we went
really?
in there. Yeah, they're like they'll try to make their voice like pretty deep or something or scratchy.
Like the
Yeah, and they're
they
like,
overdo it.
"Oh, we're coming for you." I'm like,
Oh,
"All
you're like,
right,
yeah.
I
It
figured you
sounds like I
were."
could whoop your ass just by your voice. Oh, I should be all right.
Yeah, so I
Jeez.
don't know. It
I
was.
think I think the scariest thing environment wise is like where it's paranormal. That makes sense.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
the moving of like shit falling and then like upside down crosses, like the real demonic shit. I
Yeah.
think that's terrifying as far as just in that realm. So all the movies, you about to see some fucked up shit. Like The
Yeah.
Conjuring, if you ever follow all that.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what the new shit's out. But
Yeah.
I think that would be super scary, like, if they make it where you're walking, g because I think the Creepy Road one, I think you're in, like, a house or castle, I think, and this was probably
Mhm.
years ago. But, like, yeah, if it's mainly quiet, if they kept things quiet but moving, I don't know. I think
No,
that environment is terrifying.
yeah, and I think you are right because whenever we were walking through the Limp Mansion, they were
Mhm.
playing some like techno hardcore fucking music, and it was like
Yeah.
really weird. So I
Mm.
didn't know if they're like, and like the music just didn't go with the the theme. You know,
Yeah.
I thought fucking a group of people were about to hit Thriller or something. You know what I'm saying?
Which would be dope. If they could hit that shit work, that'd be pretty dope. But
I
yeah,
would
I
have been
get it. They
scared. I
kinda
would have been
ruined the
scared.
mood.
And then Michael Jackson just comes out of nowhere, just moonwalking.
Right. And
That
he's
would have
like,
been
"No,
good.
motherfucker, it's really me. I'm just doing this as a side gig. I gotta work underground." Um, yeah, so I think I've been to the Limp Mansion once,
Yeah.
and I don't know if they still do it. So when you go all the way down, right,
Hmm.
um, you walk down this hallway.
Yeah.
They made us walk individually, like, you couldn't
Oh.
group it. So you have to walk the hall by yourself, and it's a long hall, and I guess it curves. That
Yeah.
was creepy as shit because I felt truly alone. If they started doing haunted houses like that where you're by yourself and
Yeah.
they pace it, you know, that where I was like, "Okay, I really wish I had a gun," because, like, you just gotta keep going. And then
Yeah.
that's when their I think their scare tactics work.
Yeah.
So
Because we did catch up to the people in front of us. Like it was
Mhm.
like the guy was like timing it every 30 seconds. He'll let somebody in.
Yeah,
So and we caught up to the people in front of us,
yeah,
and that lady, she ruined a lot.
yeah, yeah.
So
So you went to the what was it
it
again?
was the limp
The Limp?
the
Okay.
not the Limp Mansion, the Limp Brewery haunted house, and then we went to Creepy World.
Do you believe that? That story about that?
Was about the Limp
Mhm.
Mansion
Yeah, what
where they like killed each other or like they committed suicide and stuff like that.
was it? I thought it was
Yeah,
like
so
they put
apparently like
people
the
down
main
in the
owner or
basement?
something killed himself.
Okay.
Or no. I can't. You know what? I'm gonna have to look this up because now you got me.
I see. I thought it was like they had inbred children in the basement. That's what I thought it was. So I'm curious to find out now.
Um.
It's like Quasimodo, from Notre Dame. You know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, he kept
Huh.
on the tower.
Let's see here. And yeah,
That's
and it's really so from what I remember, because we went to the Limp Mansion just to look at it, and bro, it is such a beautiful fucking home. And even
home.
the homes, yeah, the Limp Mansion was a home. It was by it was purchased by William J. Limp and his family.
Okay.
So back in the 1860s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And what I remember is that from the little placard that was outside of the house and stuff,
Mhm.
that he was diagnosed with something, and then he died over it, and then or somebody died, and then they couldn't handle the pain and everything, so they started offing themselves. Whether
Oh,
it was like slitting their throats or fucking hanging,
hell.
and yeah, you know
I'd be
they
like,
can
"Where's my
put
foot?
a
I need to
fucking
get."
rifle and nah, you
Dude, I'm doing all that, dude. I'm not trying to deal with that. Slit my throat? No, thank you.
yeah.
Hang
So and
myself? No, thank you. I'm trying to make this quick and easy.
so
Not like I
that's
fucking won't die.
and that's what I remember, at least from the placard and stuff. But even then, like, dude, the fucking houses around gorgeous. Like, I would
I
love
was
to
Limp
live right in
Mansion?
front of that. Yeah, it's a mansion. Matter of fact, I'm gonna
I
pull it
feel
up
like
right here.
the last time I was there, I made sure I was strapped because it was, like, not in a great area. I'm for real, dude. A friend of mine at the time was like, "You got that thing on you?" I was
Here
like,
we
"Of
go.
course."
Here we go. Look how beautiful that house is. Now, obviously, it's in black and white and everything. You can't really tell the
Mhm.
actual features of it, but
Yeah.
man,
So
man.
that's the
Let's
so
see.
that's where y'all was at?
No, we were at the brewery. So I don't know if you know, but the the Limp family
Mhm.
owned the Limp Brewery where they were making beers and stuff like that.
Right.
And before Budweiser came or whatever,
Mm,
they were the head honchos. So,
damn. Do
but
they do tours of that mansion?
yeah, they do. They do.
Isn't that place haunted too?
Yeah,
There's a
yeah.
place where you sleep, right?
That's
And you
that's the
stay there
place.
overnight.
Yeah. So we want to do it too, but the tickets are like 200 and something dollars per person.
Dude, for real, are you sure? I mean,
I think.
you just dropped 280. I
Let
mean,
me
come on.
let me see here.
That's a lot of fucking money. But
That is a lot of
it's
money.
like brunch though, right? Like you sleep all night.
Um, it's like yeah, you can have brunch there and stuff, but
Yeah.
it's like a what's it called? Bed and breakfast.
Yes.
Thank you, God.
I was there.
So yeah, it's a bed and breakfast and stuff, and um, yeah, it's expensive. It's
Yeah.
expensive.
But you would do it.
I would do it
Most
definitely.
people
Oh,
would.
I always wanted to fucking
Really?
to go to somewhere like where it's extremely haunted and stuff and actually experience. Now I have my times in Alaska, or basically almost every single. No. So Colorado was it? No. So just in Alaska, and here in St. Louis also, but in Alaska we were living in on post and stuff, and where we were located was the old, at least where the area was, where it was a native burial ground, and after that it was the old Fort Wainwright hospital.
Yeah.
And the old Fort Wainwright hospital had was it the seventh floor where they have like psych ward and stuff. So
Yeah.
they tore that down and put housing on it, and then made a new one. Obviously, made it bigger, nicer, whatever. But in our home alone, we would have so much like crazy things happening. There's a time where out like my computer and stuff was all in the basement, right? So
Mhm.
that way I can get away from the family, lock them out, or lock them upstairs and
Format.
stuff. You know what I'm
Format.
saying? Like
Oh, yeah, it's a
it was my
thing.
little man cave. So, but I would like to turn off the lights while I was gaming or just
Right.
watching videos, or or doing a podcast or something. And the fucking and there's this like manhole to the right of the basement
Mhm.
where it was complete locked. Like I couldn't even get in. And there was a time where it just popped open.
Oh fuck.
Right?
Are you
So
serious?
you knowing me, I have my strap on me no matter what. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So I saw that and I instantly thought somebody was in the basement. Now, obviously, it was a townhome, so
Mm.
we're sharing
Right. Right.
like the cross space with the other people and stuff. So I'm thinking it's the other guy or something trying to get into my house. So
Right.
I was like, all right, well, let's go.
Right.
So I go over there,
Trying
I
to
have my
find out.
flashlight, got my gun, and I go into the crawl space and stuff, and I'm just clearing it.
Yeah.
Not a single person. Come to find out, the crawl space is not being shared with the other people.
Mhm.
So it's just it's just ours.
Yeah.
Like, so the crawl space and everything is ours. And then I'm looking and stuff, and I can't find anything. And then, and like, I literally looked every inch of that crawl space. I literally went in and everything, and I was like, well, whoever's in here, you better fucking come out, or I'm popping you.
Right.
And so couldn't find nobody, not a single footprint, not a single anything. So I come out and I'm looking at the door, and it's painted like over, it's locked, it's like everything. I try to like slam it back so that way it can like stay closed again.
Right.
It wouldn't. So
Really?
there had to be a force, like somebody on the other side to literally like kick it over open or something, or
Right.
something to open this door. Come to
Damn.
find, so I was like, you know what, that's fucking weird. Whatever. So I cut hair and everything. So I put my metal shelving that was weighed like 100 pounds against that door. So that way, if something or someone did try to open it, they couldn't open it.
I'm gonna stop you right there.
Okay.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Nigga, you James Bond. You know why I say that?
What?
Because I'm reading Casino Royale, Ian Fleming's book, and that's what that motherfucker did. He would put hair around certain places, and when he would come in, just in case he was like his cover was blown, that would
Mhm.
be a tall tale sign for him to like know that somebody was in the room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's
Yeah.
some James Bond shit. All right, continue.
All right. So I put my 100-pound shelving right in front of that door, so that way nobody can push it off, unless they have some enough fucking force to just knock over the goddamn shelving.
Right.
Went to now, before I get into that, finish that story, I'm gonna tell you this story. All right, because it kind of just ties in.
Right.
All right. So I went training, right? And my wife and kids are at home by themselves. And my wife, I think it was like a week long, right? Training event. Whenever I was gone, whenever you heard the footsteps and the kid or whatever was running in the hallway. All right. Yes. Huh? Yeah. So it was a week long, right?
Okay.
And I come back home and my wife's like, I got to tell you something. I was like, all right, what? And she's like, I think there's a ghost here. I was like, why do you say that? And she's like,
I want to pick your brain. What were you thinking when she said that? Like
after she said she thinks there's a ghost here,
yeah.
I was just like, nah.
Okay.
Like I have to have physical evidence.
Sure.
Like you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I have to see it for myself for me to believe it, right?
Right. Correct. Continue.
So she tells me, she's like, all right, well, the kids were asleep. It was pretty close to midnight. The kids were asleep. And the dogs were in the room with her. And she says she started hearing footsteps in the hallway. So, obviously, being a parent and everything, she thought it was one of the kids. She got up, looked, went into each room, and they were all still sleeping. And then she goes back to the room, and then she hears footsteps running now. And again, she has the door completely open, and she has her head like to the point where she can just look down the hallway.
Right.
And she doesn't see anything. And was it this whenever you heard the screams?
hold on, hold on,
No,
hold on.
what's up?
So she heard like running footsteps, so like a fast cadence,
Yeah,
like they.
like think about one of your kids with no socks on, just running down the hallway.
Okay, okay, okay. So, and the reason why I asked is like I want to know how aggressive the footsteps. So, like, moving quickly, like I am after or getting something, or
Like full
like just
speed, like
right. So, like, there's an intention of them going that fast.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that's fucked up. That'd be terrifying because you think that these niggas are like right up here, and it's like, am I gonna be
right,
fast enough? And but she's with the kids. Continue.
yeah. So I come back from training. She tells me this and stuff, right? And I was like,
Yeah.
interesting, cool. Um, so then I go downstairs. I'm taking my gear and everything. I go downstairs, and my shelving is moved. Like my like I it takes me a lot to lift up. Well, I guess it doesn't really take me a lot, but it takes me enough strength to lift up
Flexing.
my shelving
Yeah.
and place it,
So you're shelving in your bedroom, or
no, on the basement.
okay?
Remember,
So
I put the shelving in front of the door so that
mhm,
way nobody can get into the crawl space.
gotcha.
All right.
All
Now
right.
all my cutting gear and everything is there, and I set it up in a certain way so that way I know like I'm the only one that have touched it.
Okay.
Right. So this shelving has moved and the door is open again. All right.
Right.
I've asked the kids, hey, did you guys go downstairs and move my shelving? Like three of them maybe could probably move this and stuff. But
Right.
obviously, like all my stuff would be moved. Not a single clipper, not a single guard, nothing was moved. Everything was still in place. And they said no. I asked my wife, obviously. She said no. They're like, we haven't even been downstairs like since you've been gone. I was like,
Wow.
interesting, interesting.
Right.
And then so that's one of them. There is a time where where I was in training and everything. My wife was alone with the kids, with the dogs, and my from what my wife says that my daughter got up one day, came to the doorway of our room while she was awake,
Hmm.
and I don't think she said anything, right? She didn't. Yeah, she mumbled something, and then she took off towards my oldest room. Like just straight full speed sprint down the hallway into his room.
Yeah.
And then my wife, kind of spooked, gets up, follows her, and I don't even think it took like a second for her to like settle down or anything. She's sitting on the corner of his bed with like legs crossed and everything, looking at my wife.
And this is baby girl.
This is baby girl
Okay.
just looking at my wife.
Okay.
And then obviously my wife is like, spooked out and everything, but because it's our daughter, like, hey, like you got to come back to the bed.
Mhm.
And next day she doesn't remember anything.
So clarify. After this, she does that. What is her demeanor like? Like, is she acting
I'm gonna tell
normal?
him Dex. You said no, she wasn't acting normal. She was just completely like from what my wife said. Obviously I wasn't there, I was training,
Sure.
but she was completely not herself.
For how long? So okay, so she runs into the room, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then now she's in there and she's just staring at at your wife.
At my wife, yeah. On the corner of the bed, crisscrossed applesauce,
On the
looking at
ground,
her.
on the bed,
No,
looking at
on
her.
the bed, on the corner of the bed.
Okay. And then how long does this strange behavior like last?
Just that night.
The whole night.
That whole night. Okay, we're not done. We're not done.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll say
I'm gonna need a refill. Okay, continue.
All right. So
Wow.
another instance, Paige's dad comes to visit us in Alaska and everything, and they go out. But it was for a walk, right? Yeah, they
Mm-hmm.
go out for a walk and everything. Look at her weird ass. Anyways, they go out for a walk and it's just my wife and I. We're
Mm-hmm.
upstairs, right? And um they just leave, right? They just leave. So we know they're going to be out for a while. Uh Paige's dad was like, "Hey, we're going to be out for at least an hour."
Okay.
Too easy. That's perfect,
Right.
right? Paige and I were upstairs watching TV in our room, right? And we hear a loud, like somebody sneezing. So we're like, somebody. No, it wasn't. Somebody yelled, right? Yeah, somebody yelled.
What the hell?
I don't know what they yelled.
It was just yeah.
Oh yeah. So it sounded like hey, like at least we interpreted it as in hey, like somebody was downstairs saying hey, you know,
Yeah.
like somebody was trying to get our attention and stuff. So we're like, is maintenance supposed to be here? Is your dad back with the kids? Like, what's going on? So I go downstairs. Like I look outside from the window, and
But you bring out a
nobody's like
gun.
there's nobody there or no new truck or anything from maintenance.
Yeah.
Uh, I know the kids are not back, so obviously you know me. I got my gun on me. I go downstairs, and nothing. We called up Paige's dad. They're gone. They're like, yeah, we just left. We're still out.
Right.
They're gone. So that was like, all right, that's that's wild.
Pause. Where the fuck was your head at right there? Okay,
We're,
so now let's track back. You just had the experience previously,
mm-hmm,
and you were like probably like, okay, and then now you're at this point,
mm-hmm,
and now this is happening. So this is like your second kind of odd thing. Like,
mm-hmm.
when do you start to realize that this may be a possibility? Because you're pretty logical, right?
Yeah. So at this point, I'm kind of like, I'm getting skeptical. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Sure.
starting to question it, and um, so I was like, all right, that was weird. I go back upstairs, and I told Paige it's nobody. But we like literally heard it. Like we know what we heard. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like
Right.
there's no like maybe it was like a door or something, or maybe like maybe it was out somebody outside saying something. No, it was like we know it was inside the house, and
Yeah.
somebody was trying to get our attention.
So was there a conversation about that? Like, did you
As in
guys have a
like
conversation like, okay, like she's like, Chris, like, what the fuck? Or
so
like,
yeah, so Paige was like it was convinced like there is ghost here. I
yeah.
was like, all right. Like, I understand like
But
what you're saying and everything because that was pretty fucking creepy
yeah.
or anything. But let's not jump to conclusions or anything.
Okay. So so you're still trying to be logical,
Yeah,
and because you're still trying to make sense of it. And I
exactly.
bet you're dealing with like, all right, I know what the reality is.
Mm-hmm.
And then now you're asking me, and I'm kind of seeing it, that there
Mm-hmm.
is another possibility, that there is this other side that I generally don't believe in. So
Exactly.
now you're dealing with the fighting between even accepting the reality of experiencing this shit,
Yeah.
and then your
Yeah.
logical side.
Yeah.
Insane.
Now it's getting it gets even worse. All
Damn.
right.
Okay, go ahead.
There was a time where I was by myself inside the house, by myself. Paige and the kids, I think, were working or whatever. Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
the kids were at school, whatever. But Paige was at work. I came home from work early, and I'm sitting there. I'm just watching TV, right?
Mhm.
The living room is right here, and then the kitchen is literally like you just go through a little door and it's there, right? So I'm sitting there watching TV and everything. It's not very loud or anything. Just watching it, just kicking back, and then all I hear is a couple cabinets open and then close. So I was like, Interesting. I'm thinking it's Beast, my dog, getting on top
Okay.
of the counter,
Okay.
trying to eat something, right?
Yeah.
I get up and I see Beast to the left of me in his bed, asleep. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I look, and then Grizzly, my other dog, is to the right of me. So now I know there's nobody in that kitchen. So,
Yeah, because your dog
you
would have
know,
done it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's his
But
job.
they didn't
And
hear
he
it.
knows his job.
They didn't hear it though.
Interesting.
So, but I heard it. I heard the cabinet open and then boom, like somebody just let it go.
So it was more of a slam.
Yeah. It's like you're just grabbing a plate or something and then you just kind of just flick it.
Yeah, you flick it back.
Yeah.
Oh, boom. Oh,
Yeah.
boom. Okay.
And I'm like, okay, so what I did, so there's a mirror to the left wall where if you go to the left, you can go into the kitchen also.
Mhm.
So what I did, I went to the right towards the doorway and stuff, still watching the mirror just in case if somebody was in there, somebody
Right.
would try to go around the other side and then fucking I can see them.
Yeah.
Well, again, with me and my gun, I fucking go in, still watching the mirror, and then I'm basically inside the kitchen and nobody's there. Nobody came out. Nobody's there. And that's it. And I was like, interesting. So I want to see like if it's factual, like if it's real, I start taunting things.
Hey, bitch, you ain't shit.
That's exactly what
You
I say.
ain't finna do shit, nigga. You see
You
what I
ain't
got
gonna
right
do
here?
nothing, little
This
bitch.
9
Like,
millimeter finna go right in your ass, nigga. Come on out, bitch. I ain't scared. You think I'm tough?
That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm yelling. I'm screaming.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh.
I'm taunting it. I'm trying to do whatever I can so that way it gets enough energy from all the ghost hunter videos and everything you hear.
Yeah.
It gets enough energy to manifest itself,
Right.
and nothing happens. So I was like, man, again, it's probably something like probably one of the cabinets were open already, and it's just probably the wind fucking blew and it closed or whatever. Right? I'm trying to think logical about this.
Right.
Now somebody that we know, and I'll tell you off story because he doesn't want people to know that he does this.
Right.
Somebody that we know, comes to my house and he can see ghosts. Like he can literally physically see them.
Right.
And he goes and tells me, it was Paige and I, and then his wife, and then him sitting on the couch and everything. And now he's looking at the doorway where not the doorway, but the hallway where the stairs go up and everything.
Right.
And he just keeps looking over there. And he just keeps looking. And I was like, yo, man, you good? And now mind, I haven't told him anything that's going on.
Right.
Anything. And I'm saying, hey, are you good? And he's like, yeah, I'm good. But you can tell like somebody's off. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. He's like, yeah, I'm good, nigga.
I'm like, motherfucker, don't be lying to me and shit. So he tells me his thing, his power or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, I can see ghosts. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah. He's like, you have a family here. He's like, you have a man, you have a woman, and you have children living with you. He's like, but they're harmless. He's like, and the person that does the most interactions with you guys here is the man. He likes to joke around. He's like, but he's not going to do anything to you. He understands, like he's not there to hurt you. He's just there, to share the space with you.
Right.
And he's like, that's why he keeps opening up the cabinets. And that's why he said, hey, now mind, I didn't tell him anything.
Right.
And he just literally told everything of what happened to us.
I just think of this motherfucker actually being it, like just being he's having fun. He's like,
He's
he's like, hey, y'all, look, Chris out there, he's getting a bowl of cereal. I'm gonna be like, "Aye, nigga," and Chris is gonna jump, and they're like, "Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it." You know what I mean? So like, okay, now that's me being stupid, but that's crazy.
that is
And
crazy, right?
I wonder, like, if how could he tell that? Is it just what he feels? Like, when would he?
Apparently, he can literally see them.
So okay, even seeing them, making judgment if something is innocent takes a bit confidence to know if no, they're just fucking with you. They're not. They don't mean anything intentional. I think what would he have to see to know that, dude, get out because this thing that's in there is trying to hurt you
Mm.
and trying to fuck you up. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder if
Yeah,
he could tell a difference, or do they all seem just innocent in that time? You know what I mean? I'm curious about that. We should bring him on the show.
W- we
You're like, nah,
we
nigga,
should.
he's on drugs right now, and he won't be able to make it. His parole officer will be like, nah, man, you can't go.
Right,
But
right.
no, but that's crazy.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So and that's the thing. Like, um, so he can see him and everything. And what he explained to me is like, obviously, the guy is the one that fucking um he likes to do all the jokes and everything. And then the woman likes to be on the top of the stairs or walk up and down the stairs.
Mhm.
Um, so she doesn't do anything. She's more of the serious type and everything. But the kids love to run around,
Yeah. That's what
and
they told me.
apparently the kids are the one that opened up the door in the basement.
Okay. So let's okay. So could he tell this without even being in the home? Or as he got in the home, he was like starting to see some things.
No, when he gets into the home, he starts to feel it. He starts to
Okay.
see it. He can
Okay.
communicate with them, but apparently, if he communicates with them, they won't leave him alone. And then, obviously, I'm assuming, from one world to another, like if, uh, they're surprised that you're communicating with them, they're going to continue to communicate with you,
Right.
and he
Well,
doesn't
yeah,
like
fuck
that.
yeah. It's like being in prison. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's like you stuck in
yeah,
prison. I'm just, it's like, oh shit, you're new. What'd you do?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I get it. That's crazy.
That is crazy, ain't it?
Does it get worse from there?
I mean, it just continues to go. So
It's a
obviously, like
continuous
they're
cycle. But after hearing that, like, how did you feel? Like, how
I
did
mean,
you?
I'm a believer now. I'm a
Okay,
Bieber believer.
yeah. Now we know what happened to Bieber.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
got with Diddy. He got with
that's
Diddy.
insane, dude. That's
That is
insane.
insane,
Do
right?
you has that changed as far as like, do you feel like they're mostly around or just in heavy? Like, what do you think would cause them to just be there based on them? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying and everything, but I'm not entirely sure. Like
Hmm.
for real, is
Right.
it's just it's
Right.
it. They're just
Wow.
yeah.
That's
I don't know if they're just stuck there. So we got a message saying that we have double audio on TikTok. So and it's your mic.
it's my mic.
Yeah. Hmm. Interesting.
Oh,
It's that ghost.
you think? It would be me fucking shit up.
Yeah.
But
But we're not telling. Oh, what's up, Nicole? We're not telling scary stories or anything. We're telling the experiences that my family and I had whenever we were um in Alaska and stuff. So and that was just because we for context purposes that Paige and I went to a haunted house here in St. Louis that we haven't been to in like forever. And St. Louis has like one of the best haunted houses um in the world, but that was like back in the day, whenever before I joined the military. Um, Now just kind of help you guys come back, and like catch up on things and stuff. We didn't like the haunted houses; they weren't very well advertised, or um, and it was just like a walk in the park. I think anybody with a baby can walk through it, and it wasn't very scary or anything. But yeah, so we was just going through like the Limp Mansion, which is here in St. Louis, where a family, like a very rich family that owned the Limp Brewery, uh killed themselves, and then now are haunting their mansion, and people can actually sleep there and experience paranormal activity and stuff, which I like to do. uh and I hope to get to stay there in the Limp Mansion and actually experience something else. And I was just basically telling Drew of all the experiences that I've had here and over there in Alaska, so just to catch you guys up. But yeah, man, it's crazy. It was crazy. Now there's more experiences that happen to us, but it's not like real, like, whoa, like, like what happened to us before. But
Yeah.
it's it's fun. Like in Colorado, there's the Seven Gates of Hell. I
What?
believe it's in Colorado. It's either in Colorado or in Kentucky.
Yeah.
One of them. There's Seven Gates of Hell, and every time you go through a gate, more experiences or more paranormal activity happens. And apparently, once you get to the last gate, if you can make it to the last gate, you like experience something so horrific or something that it just ruins your life or whatever. And apparently, nobody's ever been through it except for a few people. And
Right.
so,
So real quick, what is fixing the audio issue that I was just going in? You think
mhm.
that's a
That's the thing. I don't hear it or anything. Like I feel like you're good, or maybe it's me.
okay? Well, anyway, I was just making sure, just trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
Um, but no, dude, that is nuts. And I know it's not dude. We still have a whole thing to get into, but this is quite interesting.
It
So
is.
I had one experience,
Okay.
at, and it was when we first moved to St. Louis,
Hmm.
and we lived in De Pere, which is, I suppose, a very wealthy area, and we were renting at the time, but we were trying to find, a home. My mother was,
Right.
and so we were looking at houses, and we went to this house, and initially never felt anything weird
Hmm.
walking in. And as we're getting a tour, have you ever had that feeling where you're being watched?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the hallways were very narrow, and of course the lighting was more of a yellow light,
Hmm.
and for some reason it just made the mood feel different anyway. And as we're going in, I don't know, I had this weird feeling of being watched, and oddly enough, as we're going through, this feeling just kept getting worse.
Hmm.
And then the realtor is taking me and my sister, my mother, down in the basement. And in the basement was a shock, because what we found was
A Diddy
the
party.
right. And these bitches were getting loose. And I'm like, this is illegal.
I'm
Like,
sorry. I'm sorry.
why are we
I
here? And I
had
got
to.
my and it's like,
God.
yo, this nigga been going wild for a long time. Anyway, we go downstairs, and the previous owners, all their shit was down there.
Hmm.
And we're like, well, what's going on here? And I was, um, just there. Like, my mother's like making all clearly the decisions. And I'm looking at my sister. I'm like, what's going on with this? Like, did they just, this is like their whole house.
Hmm.
And they're like, "Oh yeah, the family just left abruptly, and the bank took it over, and we're just selling. We will get someone in to come and remove all this stuff, obviously, when you guys move in." And it
Hmm.
was just really, just it just really threw me off. And as we're walking out, um, the feeling, it was just weighing on me, and I
Right.
was actually starting to get a little scared. So as we go in the kitchen, I kept looking at this vent. Like this one vent was just like almost like not hissing, but it was making like, I don't know. It was really hard to explain.
Mhm.
As we're leaving, and the door, the back door opens up, slams 3 times, just slams, just continue like really hard. And we go outside, and there's no wind, there's no nothing. And we end up leaving, and we got in the car. My mother says, I felt things in that house. And I'm like, you could have just told me that, because I was fucking terrified. Like I thought it was just me. Like you could just help me or something, dude. It was fucking freaky. It was just, yeah.
So does your mom, can she like potentially feel like uh abnormal things?
Yeah, I think I seen things as a kid,
Mhm.
um, and we can get into that little bit later.
Yeah.
As far as like other stories.
Oh, we
Mhm.
can get into it. So okay, I don't know if you want to hear a couple more stories or whatever.
Let's go.
All right. All right. Another experience that I had, I was living in, damn, why are you breathing so hard, dog? Uh Another
He's
experience I
terrified.
had when I was in California, right? Whenever so I'm originally from California, obviously, right?
Mhm.
From Los Angeles and stuff. But we moved to Riverside, to Paris. And I was with my grandma. My grandma was babysitting us. Now, mind, I was about 6, 7 ish
Mhm.
at the time, and my grandma told me that she needs the garbage to go outside. I was like, yeah, all right, no problem. Like, I'll go do it. So I'm grabbing it and everything, and my grandma's scared of the night.
Okay.
Okay, for
Yeah.
context purposes, my grandma's scared of the night, and obviously I wasn't. Like, us kids in California and stuff, we play at night, playing
Mhm.
tag or hide and seek, whatever, what, right? Like just any other kid. So I'm taking the trash out, right? Now mind, the trash is 50 yards like down the goddamn driveway or some shit, right?
Right.
And I'm taking it out, and I put it in the trash can, and then the light starts flickering. Now I don't know what time it is at the time,
Right.
but the light starts flickering and they just completely turns off, right? So I'm kind of froze at the moment, right? And I remember this like it was like yesterday or whatever, right? So I'm kind of frozen, and I'm right next to the trash can, and I'm just kind of like scanning the area.
Mhm.
Now in the distance, I see like a person or something, or some type of like human figure, right?
Yeah.
And um my grandma is at the doorway with her rosary, and she's praying. And now that there freaked me out,
Mhm.
because I don't know why she's praying,
Right.
but I can see her because the light is like flickering on and off, and I can
Yeah.
see her praying at the doorway. But
Get the
then to
hell
the
out of here.
left of me, in the shadows, I see this figure, and it starts to like it gets closer and closer to me, and not mine. I'm still frozen right next to the trash can, right?
Mhm.
And it's getting close to me, but my grandma is just like, you can tell like she's scared, and
Yeah.
she's like just watching me praying and everything. Now obviously she's praying in Spanish and everything, but like you can hear her, and I see this figure just getting closer and closer to me. Now it gets to a point where the light is like you know how the light kind of like shines from a corner and stuff, and then you got your dark and your light.
Yeah, you should. Yeah.
So this figure steps towards the light, and you kind of see the leg, but the leg is not a human leg. It doesn't wear pants or anything, and it's kind of deformed. And then I kind of see the figure in a way, but it's like a human, but it has something on its head. Now I could say it's horns or something, but I'm not entirely sure.
Sure.
And I'm looking at it, but it stopped at the light, and it's looking at me. I see its eyes and it's kind of like not necessarily glowing,
Yeah.
but I can see them. They're distinctful. And I'm just looking at it, and it's looking at me like, and again, I'm still frozen. I'm still looking at it. And I'm just like, what am I doing? And then I look over and I'm still looking at my grandma. She's at the fucking the doorway and everything, and she's still praying or whatever. And and then like something came over me and I just started running.
Yeah.
I started running and got to my grandma. My grandma grabbed me. She put me inside and everything. She locked the door and everything. And she just grabbed everybody, put them in the living room, and we just stood there. We just sat there for the rest of the night, and that's where we slept.
That is terrifying. I seen what they call shadow people before.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I seen that dating an ex girlfriend of mine,
So
and
and although before I'm sorry before
no, no,
sorry that I had to cut you off, but I asked my grandma,
yeah,
like the next day I was like, or I don't think it was the next day, but it was within the week or whatever, and I asked her, I was like, like your grandma, what was that the other day?
hmm
And she's she's just like, there's things that God needs to fight to protect us, but sometimes it just appears.
right.
And obviously that didn't make sense to me. So I'm like, what? And he's like, do you believe in the devil? And I'm like, no, I don't. He's like, well, you just seen it.
Damn,
And I was like, what the fuck?
that's fucking terrifying, dude. That is
So
fucking terrifying.
yeah, so can I say I seen the devil? I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So can't say that I can, or I can't say that I can't.
Sure.
Some figure was there, and
You know what my mother told me,
what was that?
and this relates to a story with a friend of mine. Clearly, I'm not
Mhm.
going to tell you his name. Um, but she says that people that experience evil that way or any type of entity that way, that person is special in some way, because
Mhm.
not most people experience those things, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Especially when it's presented that way. And if in your situation it seemed something that was dark, you know what I mean, not
Yeah.
like the family living at the place where you guys were at that was fucking with you and pulling your drawers down and shit, and you're like, "Goddamn, Paige, you know I just got out of the goddamn fucking ice water. My shit's shrunk right now. God damn it." You know,
Hold up.
there right,
Control
respectfully,
yourself, woman.
but then there's that dark, that really that darkness. So she would say that you're very special for it to
Mhm.
kind of present itself, even just to scare you. I got a guy, and this gets kind of crazy. He was um, in bed in the middle of the afternoon, and he's a gun toter as well. And he was sleeping, taking a nap, and he said he heard something in the hallway, like,
Mhm.
steps in the hallway, and he lives
Mhm.
alone. And he's like, okay, first, he tries to rationalize, which I'm sure that's what you do.
Yeah.
You want to rationalize first because you want to be logical. You don't want to feel like, that you're making a rash decision, because if I go busting in here and you know what I mean? Like, you guys
Mhm.
just kind of think these through. So he hears these steps and he's like, okay, there's nobody here. And he wants to wake up and just to make sure that he's actually awake, and he hears the steps kind of get closer to his door, and the door's already cracked, and it sounds as if no one actually walked through the door. They came in just behind, like, in front of the door, like they didn't
Right,
even have
right.
to use the door. And it's getting closer, and now he's in this fight or flight mode, and he's awake. And then the bed behind him, and he's laying on his right shoulder. The
Mhm.
bed behind him then starts to sink if like somebody sat like on the bed.
Right.
And then he goes and he's in fight or flight mode. He goes like swinging hard, and there's nobody there. And so, now he's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah. So it's crazy. It's crazy.
It is crazy. All right, so I got one more. All right,
Right.
like I can tell these stories for days and stuff because I have so many. But it was actually uh my father's story. All right,
Okay.
he told me this before, and he said whenever he was a child and everything, he was, I believe, walking from a friend's house or whatever, right?
Hmm.
And he was in Mexico, and it was dark, nighttime, and everything. He didn't express what the time it was, but it was pretty late. And he was walking, and then he said that he saw a figure behind him following him, and but he was dressed old fashioned. He had a
Hmm.
hatchet. Um,
Hatchet.
yeah, he had a hatchet,
Right.
and he was dressed like extremely, like as if he was from like the 1800s or something.
Okay.
And he said that this figure just kept following, or this person, right? This
Oh,
person kept following him.
okay.
So what do you do with people following you? You go to different directions and stuff to make sure that it's really him, it's really you
Hmm.
following,
Right.
right? So
Right.
he confirms that. Now he's taking off, now he's running, and now he can hear the person behind him running.
Oh my
So
God.
he's running
Okay.
full speed, and he sees the a wall right there that's just high enough uh where it'll slow somebody down, but low enough where he can jump over it.
Yeah.
So he's running full speed and everything, and he jumps over the wall, and this guy, you can hear him, apparently he heard him throw the hatchet at him, and he just got over the wall, and he heard the hatchet hit the wall,
Hmm.
and then he just continues running and gets to his house and everything, right?
Wow.
A couple days later, he goes back to the wall that he jumped,
Hmm.
and he sees that the where he threw it is a mark of a hatchet that was apparently printed there.
Damn.
Yeah. So again, he believes now. Many people know that Mexican people are very religious, very spiritual people, and everything.
Right.
So knowing, or at least believing in the good and bad, God and the devil and stuff, like we're extremely, like, at least the Mexican side.
Yeah.
I
You guys
believe
are
it
very,
now and everything, but yeah, so
you
it
guys are
was
very close with Catholic, right? Like just like
exactly, yeah.
the faith.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So it was, yeah. So that was his story.
Wow. Yeah. It is wild.
It
And
is wild.
to finish off with that, we had after he had that experience, um, later,
Hmm.
and there was a individual that ended up committing suicide at our work in front of him, and it was just a number of things happening.
Hmm.
And so, he said he went the extra mile to like have his house blessed, and he's young, and different things like that, and he wouldn't even stay at his house, and he would
Really,
do none of those things. I couldn't imagine, you
that's
know.
crazy. So he
But
had like
yeah.
the sage and everything. He had a
Oh yeah, he
what
went the whole nine,
the whole nine
but he
priest.
is selling, right? He's selling. Do you ever watch Supernatural? It was like that.
Uh, like
The
you talking
two
about, like, for like.
brothers. It was like the two brothers that were like demon hunters and shit.
No, I don't think
I don't
I've
know if
I've
that was
I've
your.
seen Ghost Hunters. Like I was extremely like all about
Oh,
Ghost
I
Hunters and stuff.
definitely like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was one of those people too. Like just hearing their story
Hmm.
and whatnot, and
Yeah,
it's just wild. It
it
is
is.
just wild. I used to listen to all right, and then we'll leave. I know people will be like, "What kind of
This supposed to be
what?"
holiday prepping. What we talking about ghosts now?
Hey, hold on now. In our defense, we talked about Krampus. I didn't even know
We did
Krampus was
exactly.
yeah, that's Christmas. Um, but you know, uh, I just hearing just a lot of that stuff. It's just I don't know. It makes you think about just how where things start from. Like you talked about the house, and then like I was listening to a podcast that was I forget what it's called. I've been listening to it in a minute because it was like fucking me up. That's all I would listen to, and then I'd be like getting paranoid and shit. I was like, "What was that?" Like, nigga, that was a squirrel, and it's daytime. Why are you scared, nigga? But it was a podcast, and they were talking about a person that just bought a home, right? And there was shit was happening, and they were like couldn't understand like everything was fine for a certain period of time, and come to find out as they were trying to renovate they ripped the fucking wallpaper down in the basement, and there was
Hmm.
like pentagrams and shit. Come to find out they were having seances and summoning demons. That house was a portal for like the another side, and they kept having shit happen. So like I had to quit listening to that shit because nigga, that really fucked me up. Like if that's all I was listening to, because it's interesting though. Like
Yeah.
it would make time go by fast because like now
Hmm.
you're invested in the story. Like there is no time. You just want to
Yeah.
make it through the story and you don't care how long it lasts. So yeah, Halloween's over. End of
Always
the
over. You know what I'm saying?
Christ.
Let's switch it over to holiday prepping. Thanksgiving's coming up, Christmas coming up. Uh oh.
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh. Uh
Mm.
oh.
I'm spilling.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All
You
right.
can't
Well,
hear
that was
me?
weird. Yeah, I can hear you now. All right. So obviously, Christmas is coming up. The celebration
Yeah.
of God's ultimate gift, Jesus Christ's birth.
Yep.
What are your plans for these holidays?
Yeah. So my plans already started after Halloween.
Okay.
We already are decorating. My sister came into town,
Mm.
and
Oh, you guys are early decorators. You're like the mall. You guys are playing Christmas songs and
just like Hobby Lobby, baby. But you got to know who I'm with.
right, right, right,
Her,
right.
like she, like it's just, and that's different from me because honestly, like I enjoyed Christmas. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but like my family was so small, just me, my sister, my mother. Like it was never like this. We
Mm-hmm.
we we kind of just we made it, and my mother, and that's what it was. It's like, we have our apartment and that's it. And we
Yeah.
don't really decorate. It's like the big decoration is the goddamn tree. You know what I mean? And so yeah, so we started early just because my sister came into town and she wants to experience like the holidays. She lives in New
Hmm.
York and she's very busy, and so she not sure she's gonna come into town for Christmas, so we did it all already. So we just been decorating, and that's just been it. So that's where we're at so far.
That's where you're at.
Mhm.
So you're bringing out the decorations now. That's
Yeah,
basically where you're at.
she wants me to do lights on the house.
Are you doing them? That's a big house. I don't know if you guys know, but Drew is a millionaire, and he lives in the Limp Mansion, and the the
Yeah,
roof
I get
is
the kids
about
from the basement to come
I
up and
think the
do it.
roof is about what 30 feet high.
I don't know,
Yeah.
dude. You're tripping. I don't know.
But you
Yo.
do have a big house. That's the thing. You do have it's a multi level house. You got to take an elevator, go upstairs and downstairs, and it's crazy. Like it's wild. But
You know what, the first time I seen someone have an elevator?
what was it?
So for those of you who don't know, me and Chris used to work together in we did cable, right?
We first started off at cable.
That's where we met.
Yep.
And we would travel from Missouri, Illinois. Anyway, make a long story short, I ended up having to do a trouble call at a house in Illinois, huge
Hmm.
house, gated and everything. Go in there, and this woman, um, she had, I guess, recently got a divorce, and she's like dogging on her husband. And I'm like, lady, I just want to install this shit and go. Because I was gonna go to Casey's right up the road, to get something to eat.
Yeah.
And she starts showing me her house. And she's like, he was a big hunter and he had done all this like he had all these animals that were stuffed. It's what is it called? Do you know what taxidermy?
Taxidermy, yeah.
So he had all these things. He had like elk and bear, like these people, and huge house, multi-million dollar home.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, oh yeah, and then there's the upstairs. And I'm like, oh, is that where like the trouble call is? Like I'm just she goes, and she's like, what? Let's just take the elevator. And I'm like,
Oh.
elevator. I was like, what the fuck? So we get in the elevator, and I'm kind of nervous because I'm like, yeah, if I get stuck in here and and they try to call me, I got shit to do. Like I'm gonna be in trouble. And we go upstairs in this elevator, and it's what they called the great room, and they had all this shit. And so yeah, that was my first seeing like an in-home elevator. And it was like the
Yeah.
old one where you had to pull like the chain door like over.
Yeah.
So that made me really nervous. I'm like, you got all this goddamn money, modernized motherfucker. Like I don't want to have no fucking iron door like go across just for it to. So yeah, yeah, that was my first. But anyway, am I gonna put the lights up?
Yeah.
Probably. I didn't do it last year because I'm like, I'm not doing this shit. But yeah, so we'll
I think that's
probably
my favorite part of Christmas and stuff is putting up the lights.
really like outside.
Yeah, outside.
Oh,
Yeah.
you do them?
Yeah. So in Colorado, like I fucking like Christmas is my holiday. Like I love
Really?
Christmas, but I don't start decorating until after. I think I start decorating December 1st. That's whenever we start like, all right, let's start bringing out
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
I'm that type of person. I hate going to the mall and already seeing Christmas shit
Mhm.
right before Thanksgiving. And I'm like, what's the point of this? Like, where's the pilgrims and shit? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I feel you. I feel
yeah,
you. I get that.
but
You're
no, I'm that type of person. I love putting up Christmas lights and stuff. And whenever I was in Colorado and stuff, my homie Patton, shout out. You know what I'm saying? I think he's watching.
what up, Pat?
That
You watching?
I think he's watching and everything. But he will help me decorate the house. And now the roof in my house in Colorado is extremely steep. And
Yep. Yeah.
there's one time there was that we went up to the now he's fearless. He is completely fearless. Like he went up the ladder first and
Mhm.
started walking on the roof when this fucking roof is like you need a harness.
Right. You're like, hey, homie, like that side's dangerous, dude.
Yeah,
What
exactly.
Oh, okay. You
And
just go
he is
up.
just
Okay.
bro, he's just walking and stuff. Now my house is a multi-level house and everything, right? It was a 2-story house. Now
Right.
to get to the first part of the roof, we needed a ladder,
Yeah.
right? It's about 15 feet high or whatever or something like that. And then we get there, and then now you have to like lift yourself up and then get to the other part where it's like more steeper. Yeah. So
He paid $2.5 million for this home, just so you guys know. That's why this is very dangerous. Like they would haul actual equipment just to put lights up, but he's obviously we Hispanic and we hard workers.
so we both get to the top, right? Obviously it's nothing. Like we've been in higher
Yeah.
elevation and everything from rappelling from helicopters and all that bullshit, right? So now I have to lift him up to get to the other the higher roof, right? And
Golly.
he has to like sit up there and lift me up for me to swing my leg up and then get to the second level of the roof.
Yeah.
So I'm like crawling in all fours because this is how steep this fucking roof is. His ass is standing and walking like he's a fucking monk.
Oh my
And
God.
like he has no fear. And I'm like, how the fuck are you doing this right now?
He's like, it's
And
really
he's
nice
like,
up here.
yeah, he's just
he
looking
ain't no-
around, stretching and shit. And
He's
I'm
like,
like,
God
what
damn,
the
this
fuck
is
are you
great."
doing? And I'm over here just like inching my way towards him. You know what I'm saying?
He's like, hey, oh my God.
And then he goes on to
That's
say, like,
wild.
"Hey, you like, where is the lights? Didn't you bring them up?" Now I forgot to bring up the lights. That was my
Shut the
job,
fuck up.
and I was like,
You play
"Fuck,
too
no, I
much.
didn't."
You
Tell
play
me
too
why
much.
this motherfucker walks around me like it was nothing. Like again, I'm still on all fours. He walks around me like it was nothing. Jumps down to the first floor by himself. Goes
He's
down the ladder, right? Goes
oh
down the
my
ladder,
god.
grabs all of the fucking lights and stuff like a fucking Mexican, throws them on his shoulder, and just runs up the goddamn ladder and then throws all the lights at me. Now, again, I'm still on fours, so I'm grabbing the
He tried
lights
to
and then
inch
like,
to grab it. It's like, hey, throw
yeah,
it closer.
I'm like, I grab him and then like I quickly put my other hand down so that way I'm not losing any fucking balance
Right.
or anything. And his ass being 130 pounds, just fucking muscles ups into the second level with another strand of lights on his shoulder. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're making me look really fucking bad.
This dude started doing handstands. He was like, hey, Chris, check this out. Oh, I can do a
Yeah, he's
handstand out
he's
here. And
doing
start doing
cartwheels and shit. And then I'm like, dude, how are we gonna put these lights on the edge of the fucking house?
yeah.
He's like, oh, it's easy. I was like, mm-mm. It's not easy. It's not easy.
Right.
So he walks up to the edge of the house, squats down. Now, now, mind, like you're like 20 feet above the fucking ground, right? He
Yeah.
squats down and just starts putting in the first strand. And I'm like, there's no way you're gonna fucking outman me. So
Right.
what I do, I grab my strand and I start crawling to the other way.
Yeah.
I start crawling to the so that way I can plug up his strand to my strand and then I'll put
Right.
on the rest. I'm not walking. I'm still on all fours crawling,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm getting it done. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting
Yeah.
it done. Now there's a point where like I got to the edge so close, like I'm not shaking, but I'm sweating. You know what I'm
You're like,
saying?
okay,
Yeah,
all right,
it's getting rough. It's
gotta
getting
take my
rough here.
time. Okay.
And he is guess waiting on me. So he has another strand of lights
Yeah.
and puts his up and then finishes mine because I apparently wasn't working fast enough for him.
That's
And I'm just,
crazy.
yeah, no, it fucking fearless man over there. Like he
That's
had,
crazy.
but no, we finally, I did my part. I did my part. I
Right.
put up just as much lights as he did, but we were able to actually completely cover the entire house with lights and everything, multi-level. And then when we plugged them up, we even got the lights that you can actually like sync to music and stuff and like
Oh,
change
that's
the
dope.
colors and shit like
Yeah,
that.
that's dope.
Yeah, so it was dope as fuck. It was fucking amazing.
Wow. And the worst
But
thing
yeah,
would be if one bulb was out and then it's like, what the fuck?
oh, and they're all out. Yeah. Yeah, and then you have to like test each one to see which
Yeah.
one it is. Yeah, oh, that was
Yep.
that was rough.
That's
Yeah, so
crazy. Okay, so what kind of lights do you like? So me personally, I like more of like the warm tone Christmas lights.
mhm,
There's people that like the
mhm,
colorful lights. They like the bright white lights. I prefer
mhm.
like the warmness. What kind of Christmas lights do you guys put up? Do you do the colorful lights?
So I think it's just depending on our mood because we go
Okay,
back and forth.
right.
Uh,
Well, you also
we
have kids
usually
too.
yeah, yeah. So we usually do the warm lights and stuff. I feel like it's a more classic look. It's more elegant.
Exactly. Yes.
Um, you know what I'm
It
saying?
gets me
So
in person.
I like that the most.
Me
But
too.
there's times like I said in Colorado where we're like, you know what, let's change it up. We found some lights on Amazon and stuff that sync with music and all that were LEDs, so they were a lot brighter. Jesus. And so we went with that year. Now, it was really nice. It was extremely nice. It was extremely modern and made the house look even better and stuff.
Right.
But again, like it was great. It was great. So, but I think this year, whenever we do buy a house and everything, we may just go back to the classic look, just
Hmm.
depending on what the house looks like and everything.
Yeah.
So, I
Yeah.
think it's just depending on the house, you know?
For sure. For sure.
Yeah. Like yours, I think yours was built in what the 1910. It was a slave owner, so you
Oh
had
yeah. Yeah. Oh, dude.
12 rooms.
I hear shit right over there. Like I got my Chris Vector like behind me for a reason, and it's loaded. There's one in the chamber, and I got a hair trigger on it. So even if I think there's something, it's going off.
It's going off.
Elon Musk got a new trigger, and it has that auto shoot. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I like the classic warm
Hmm.
lights. So I
Yeah.
didn't do it last year because it just got from 70s
Hmm.
to the 20s, and I didn't, as far as weather wise, and I just
Hmm.
I just never did it. But I think I'll
Yeah.
do it. But
Are you are
we
you
have
gonna are you the type of person that pays for it? Are you gonna pay for it
no,
now that
because
you're a
I'm too cheap.
millionaire?
No, I'm too cheap. Well, the reason why I'm a millionaire because of the podcast, clearly.
No,
So,
no.
so thank y'all. No, hell no, dude. I'm gonna do that shit myself. If I can do it
Yeah.
myself, I would rather do it myself. But I also like want to learn,
Hmm.
and so if I'm gonna ask anyone to do anything, it'd probably be you because I would like to finish up my basement.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I feel like you did a lot of shit. Like you've been involved in a lot of shit. And
Yeah.
so, me, I'm just getting comfortable with putting in light fixtures. Like I'm pretty confident now. You know what I mean? Like I've came a long way.
Yeah.
So, but
No,
yeah,
I mean, yeah.
we're ready for Christmas. I'm already like doing the Christmas movies and different things like that. Now, uh, Thanksgiving, like, are you a big Thanksgiving guy?
Um, that's a good question because the years being in the military and stuff, we've never really had family to come over. Now, mind there will be times that family would come over and it'll be a bigger dinner and stuff. But usually it was
Sure.
just my wife, the kids, and then and then whatever soldier that felt alone or whatever, we'll invite them over. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
okay.
So
Okay.
we try to be involved, especially being in the military. We try to be involved as much as possible.
Hmm.
Again, whenever it was in Colorado and stuff, uh, Patton and I'm fucking Jesus and Hector. I didn't want to just fucking say his name and stuff, but
Sure.
they will all come over. Like we was just a huge fucking family and stuff, and they'll just come over and everything while we're cooking, and they'll help out. So we never had a true big family thing. So
Okay.
now that
Okay.
we're here and everything, hopefully it's gonna be this massive traditional fucking family thing. Obviously, you guys are invited, so your
Oh,
family.
really?
Yeah,
Really?
don't play.
Really?
I shouldn't have to invite you guys. You guys should just come over.
Oh,
But
yeah?
there's the invitation, so you can't say, and it's on live, so you can't say that I didn't invite you.
Are we gonna go live on
So, and we
Thanksgiving?
can host it at your house since you do have a 4,700
You
square
know
foot house.
okay, for one, get the hell out of here. And for two, I don't know what it is. I need to, like, change. We need to do shit more, like, do stuff more, I guess.
Hmm.
And because I guess I'm just a homebody.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
like my space. And so
yeah.
this year for us, so for Christmas, we're gonna have, like, all the kids,
Hmm.
for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, which is pretty dope.
Hmm.
And so with that comes with I guess us hosting Christmas for Maddie's family.
Okay.
And it's just like a lot for me, and I kind of just like having my house, you know what I mean? And not
Yeah,
that like it's just I had to kind of battle through that. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
No, I know.
Just
Yeah, I get
because
it.
Maddie stresses out. And granted, I don't do shit. Like I just sit there and let it happen. It's like Christmas Day for me. Like all the birthdays, like I just wake up the day before, and when it's that day, I wake up and I come downstairs and like shit is magically there. And I'm like, wow, she did a really good job. So I don't do anything, but it's just, hosting and different things like that. So
Yeah.
um
No, I get it because we're usually the ones we don't necessarily not like going out, but if we were to go to like a Christmas party or like a Thanksgiving party, we'll host it ourselves. So that way we don't actually have to go out,
mhm.
and then we'll just deal with the consequences later.
Now do you
As in,
prefer
like,
to host?
I do prefer to host. I
Because
do
it's
prefer.
easier.
Exactly. Yeah, it's easier and stuff.
And you're pretty charismatic. And that's the thing, I overthink shit. Like, am I
Yeah.
talking to this person enough? Am I doing this enough? Now make like I think you would be a way better person to do that. And I'm just trying to like, but I overthink too much. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And or I think you would be more of the person that you coast. You have like this natural like hosting ability.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
you just give the worst invites. This motherfucker
I
invited
do.
me like an hour before something, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we just decided to do this."
Yeah, I do get. And you know what's funny is that my wife is extremely like organized whenever it comes to events and stuff. So she'll be a great
Mm,
party planner or event planner and
yeah,
stuff. And then she'll tell me, "All right, whoever you're inviting, you're gonna have to invite now because
right.
it's in 2-3 weeks or whatever, right? So that way they have time to prepare and then whatever
Yeah,
they have to do." And then me not giving too much of any fucks, I will
yeah,
wait until 3 days before the event
right.
and then get mad at you because you didn't come.
It's like, "Hey, dude, I just told you,
I just told you, well, I gave you the invite. You didn't show up.
bro. I work tomorrow. Really, really, you
That's the
can't call
excuse.
off.
That's
Come
your
on,
excuse.
now.
Okay, okay. Yeah, no, that's exactly. And then my wife would be like, "Well, I thought your friends were coming." I'm like, "Yeah, I invited them." Then she would ask me, "When did you invite them?" Which I hate that question because then I would have to tell her that, you know, a couple days ago.
Right,
So that's why they're not coming. But she
right.
prepared enough food for 62 people and only 20 people showed up.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
but
I'm not stressed about it, and I wish I would be more relaxed.
yeah.
But then I feel like I have to be on.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And I
No, I
just
get
want to
it.
be like on my game. I don't know. I probably should start taking Xanax or something to calm my nerves. I don't know.
No,
But
I get it. I get it.
but
That's
yeah, I'm ready for the holidays. I think Christmas is like the best time.
yeah.
I feel better, and I still got road rage and I cuss people out, but I do it with more joy. You know what I'm
Yeah, you
saying?
do it with love. That's exactly how I am. That's exactly how
Yeah.
I am. I'm excited for the holidays and stuff, especially being back. I haven't seen so many people here in so long, and
Right.
I'm just now getting together with some people and stuff. We used to hang out a lot, and we're actually doing this podcast together now, and it's great. It's great. Everything's looking good.
Yeah.
Trying to keep a level head. I mean, obviously there's stress factors and everything, but it is what
Yep.
it is.
Yep.
But
Yep.
yeah, man, it's exciting. But okay, so Thanksgiving's coming up first. What is your main go to dinner plate?
You know, I'm trying to so the past few times, past few Thanksgivings I've been like I was like running a lot, being a
Hmm.
runner,
Hmm.
and I was always worried about what I ate, and so now like this year like I'm not going to really care so much, you know,
Hmm.
and so trying to enjoy life a little bit. And so I'm kind of transitioning, but so my first um mm, uh I like I'm a big mac and cheese person, but my
Hmm.
mother she
Hmm.
does like straight like from scratch type thing, and I know most people probably do, but yeah, mac and cheese is that I'm a stuffing guy. I don't know if you are or not, and
Really?
yeah,
You just
yeah.
love eating that ass, don't you?
But they shove it, yeah, yeah, dude, it's fucking good. Are you serious? And so yeah,
It's okay. So I've only had one good stuffing, and that's it.
really,
And I'm not really a stuffing guy. And that's why. But I've only had one person that knew how to cook stuffing. It was kind of crunchy, but it was still good. You know what I'm saying?
no, dude, I'm simple, dude. I take the stovetop, and I know there's probably better shit out there, but I'm very simple. I'm very
Yeah.
simple. I think I'm a dark meat type of guy.
Hmm. Hmm.
So the turkey is generally dry. So I'm either
Extremely
gonna
dry.
fuck with the wing or it's gonna be like the leg or something. Because if it's too dry for me, it'll turn me off. And so like, but that's my go-to. And then
Okay.
my dessert go-to is always gonna be like apple pie. Now I'm willing to try new
Mm.
things, but apple pie is always gonna be it for me.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. What
That's
about you? What is
interesting.
your
Okay.
go-to?
My go-to. Okay. Ever since Paige has been part of the family and everything, I've never experienced such a good mac and cheese from her like ever. So
Oh, you're a Mac guy too.
until I went to Paige's grandma's house. I think it
Okay.
was like the very first time I've ever been at a Thanksgiving, on her side of the family and everything.
Yeah.
And then it was like an explosion of flavor whenever I tasted her grandma's mac and cheese.
Okay.
It went from, a little bit of turkey, a little bit of stuffing, some mac and cheese,
Mhm.
whatever they had in everything, some greens and stuff, to where I removed everything else and just got more mac and cheese like throughout the day. I think I finished an entire tray by myself of mac and cheese.
Oh, you did?
So, yeah, so I that is my go-to is mac and cheese, greens and ham. Oh, and deviled eggs. Yep. Paige got me
Really?
deviled eggs. Yeah,
See,
I
I
fucking love
can't
deviled
do
eggs,
it.
especially Paige's deviled eggs. I fucking love them.
Really?
Yeah, dude, I have to have. If we don't have deviled eggs, I'm leaving your house.
No way.
I'm leaving your house
For some
instantly.
reason, I
I'm
can't do it.
I'm not gonna even tell you. I'm not gonna even tell you. I'm just gonna leave.
Oh, really?
Uh
Come
oh.
on. Uh-oh.
But yeah, dude, deviled eggs, mac and cheese, uh, and then if the turkey is uh deep fried, we're best friends. But yeah, dude. Obviously, we're having some technical difficulties, so bear with us.
1 second. Hold
Unbelievable.
on. I'm still here.
You know, you being rich, you do get a lot of great
You
value
know, I don't this
camera
it's
gear.
technology. I blame Elon Musk somehow.
why do you blame Elon Musk?
I don't know. This dude is the biggest innovator.
Unbelievable.
1 second, yo. All right, we back in business.
All right, all right, nice. I like that angle.
You said what?
I like this angle.
Do you like
Uh oh. Yeah, this angle's dope. I like it.
Yeah, I don't know this, but I'm about to physically abuse my camera. Embarrass me and such. So,
I like this. No, you should zoom back out. That was a good angle. I
yeah,
like
I
that.
don't but I'm still trying to work on the basement and whatnot. And
Yeah,
so like,
yeah.
shit is not, like it should.
So there's one thing about Drew, and he asked me to come help him with his camera gear and stuff, right?
Oh
So I
yeah.
did. Completely organized his desk and everything. Not as you can see, he's looking around. It's probably fucked up now.
I got better, dude. I'm
Did
not
you?
even bullshit. Yeah, so when I was just home for a week, on vacation, and I was forced to clean my basement. And I made some changes. I truly did. I made some changes. And
But yeah. Anyways, let me tell the story so that way, they don't just fucking look at me all weird. But I went to go organize his desk. We fucking set up his shit. It looks fucking amazing, right? Come to find out, the next day he went back to his desk and completely just like unarranged everything and
yeah.
just it made it look like shit again. And I was like,
Yeah.
wow, all that hard work for no fucking reason.
Well, things happen and what are you going to do? Uh
Yeah, what are you gonna not come back?
yeah. Well, you'll be happy now. You'll be happy now.
Yeah.
That's why I got to
Okay.
soundproof this area.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, so yeah, Christmas is coming, and then what do you guys do any special things for that?
Uh, so for Christmas, obviously we do the traditional go to see Santa Claus and everything, and then um take pictures with Santa Claus. That is one thing I will miss about Alaska. So in
Okay.
Alaska, there's a little town called North Pole. In North Pole, there is a Santa factory with a extremely good Santa Claus.
Oh, really?
Like he has a real beard, he has a real white hair. He looks like the story book Santa Claus. Now he was a little skinnier than that, but
Yeah, yeah,
he
yeah.
looks exactly like it, and
Hmm.
it blew me away the first time I seen it because they have the reindeer. They have a I don't know what is that called where they keep all the animals and everything, the stables. They have
Yeah.
a
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
an
yeah.
entire stable of reindeers and everything. It's fucking amazing. And then their workshop is like all white and decorated of Santa, and it is amazing. Now that I will miss from Alaska. So if you guys ever go to Fairbanks and everything, it's 15 minutes away from the base, and it's fucking beautiful. Um, and obviously, Alaska always snowing and everything.
Yeah.
It's just it's magical. It's magical.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
They
so obviously we're gonna fucking do the whole Santa Claus pictures and everything and all that good stuff.
Do you
So
ever okay, so like um going into like getting gifts for your kids, when do you ever like look at what they want and like criticize them? You know, like compared to like what they're into nowadays, it's like, oh, okay, that's what they're into. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I get what you're saying, but I don't get gifts. It's Santa Claus that gets gifts. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what you're talking
So
about.
do you do all Santa? Like every gift that they get is Santa. So like I've had it where
Yeah,
like it's like these are your Santa gifts and these are your parent gifts.
yeah. So at least that's how I was raised. Everything that we got was all Santa. Now
Gotcha.
Paige is kind of like yours is where Santa will bring one or two gifts. Everything else will
Mhm.
be from the family.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we're gonna start doing too. So, but um, no, it's again Christmas is my favorite holiday.
Yeah.
Um, now St. Louis doesn't snow very much, so
No, we just get ice.
we get ice,
We
yeah,
get
black ice, yeah, the
Yep.
dangerous ice,
Absolutely.
yeah. So, but yeah, that we're gonna do that. I mean, obviously, we're not gonna go sledding and everything, so hopefully we can
Yeah.
go
It's not
sledding.
Alaska.
Yeah,
But yeah.
but
Okay.
what
So
about you? What
listen.
about you?
Um yeah, we just yeah. I mean if we can go sledding, we do it.
Hmm.
This year again, so we'll have I have a full house we're hosting this
Hmm.
year. And 1 year Maddie's dad was able to get us a limo, you know, and go to and we did like lights and whatnot, and we went and got like it wasn't my limo, dude. You act like I own this
Sure,
limo company, God damn it.
sure.
But
Oh,
that
so
was
you
fun.
allowed your drivers to take a break this year
No,
or
dude,
last
they got
year?
out. It's like, dude, stay outside. When we in here, you drive and you get outside. Smoke, smoke your cigarettes, whatever. Talk to hookers. I don't give a damn. No, we're very. No, I'm kidding. No, it was a cool experience. And
Was it?
so we did that. I've never done that before, so
That's
um,
cool.
yeah,
Now, did
yeah.
you hear about the St. Louis Festival that's hosting all those Christmas lights?
Um, uh, do you know the name of it?
Oh, man, I'm gonna have to look it up now because your
So
ass.
there is. Are you talking about just like light? So when you say festival, it's more than just like a light show type thing where you drive through the neighborhood because they have like Tillis Park, where they have the light shows and you just drive through in your cars and like you kind of see the different lights. There's different neighborhoods, and I want to say Webster Grove as well.
Well, this one, I believe, is where you can actually walk around or ice skate around.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, the last time I ice skated, I like broke my leg. Did I tell you that
Really?
story?
No,
Yeah,
you did
dude.
not.
So I just got into military. It was my first year going to military school,
Uh-huh.
and this was in New York. And we come back. We had like a 3 month off for the holidays
Mhm.
and I boarded there. So you would have 3 months off.
Mhm.
So when I came home, I wanted to be in what was a snowboarding like team where they would
Okay.
go and do different things and they would like compete and whatnot. Never snowboarded ever in my life. Um, and when we would get snow in that part of New York, you would get New York would get blizzards, so like we would get a decent amount of snow. So there was hills where we could like snowboard, and I used a buddy of mine his snowboard, and I was terrible, but I was like, oh, I probably could do this. And so when I came back home, I was like, I wanted to snowboard. So there's a mall, and it's called Palisades Mall. It's a really big mall.
Uh-huh.
My mother took us there, and she says, "Why don't you guys go ice skating?" And in the mall, which I didn't even know, they have like a sportings area,
Mhm.
snowboardings area, snow sports. And she's like, "I'm gonna let you guys go ice skating. I'm gonna go shop, and then I'll come pick you guys up."
Mhm.
And I was a very husky guy, and they put me in um, they said was hockey skates. And what they had for the other kids, which if I could fit them, I had big feet apparently, were like training skates. So it like hugged like your ankle.
Okay.
And so now I'm in just regular like hockey skates. And they say it made a difference because it didn't support my ankle. Anyway, so I can't skate. Me and my sister didn't skate. We didn't know how to skate. And so we're just taking it easy. And
Mhm.
as I'm going and I'm finally like picking it up, but I'm like being able to move without like, holding anything, there was this girl and she just slightly bumped me. So she bumps me. And as I start to fall, um, my whole body starts to spin and turn.
Mhm.
My leg never did. Like I don't know
Oh,
what happened. And so my foot completely twists. The bone breaks. It goes straight through my growth plate. And my
ouch.
sister, yeah. So my sister, she's with me, and she's like, "Andrew, don't fucking embarrass me. Get up. You're fine. You literally just got bumped." She's like, "Don't be a bitch." Like she's telling me this. She's like, "Andrew, get up." She's like, you just get up." And I'm like, "Barbara, I can't, man." And she's like, "Stop being a bitch. You literally just fell." She's like telling me this. And I'm like, I'm trying to because I'm like, "Bitch, shut up, man." Like I'm tired of you saying this shit. So I'm trying to get up and I just fucking can't. And I start crawling. She's like, "You're fucking embarrassing. Come on." And I'm crawling to where like I could get off the ice. And like then the pain hit. And dude, like I am like crying. My sister's pissed off because now I'm crying. She's like, "How do you cry for just fucking falling? Like you're soft." And then we come to find out I broke my
Jesus.
leg and it went straight through my growth plate. And so
Jesus.
yeah,
Holy crap.
yeah. So yeah,
All right,
that
so
was interesting.
the the place I was talking about, it's called Jingle.
Jingle.
Yeah. So here, let me share my screen real quick. Do. Is this it? No, that's not it. Is that it? No, that's not it. No, no, no. Where's it at? Oh, there it is. Boom. It's called Jingo, and then obviously you ice skate and everything, and it's just like a massive, like I don't know how many acres it is of like people
Oh
just
dang, that's dope.
yeah. So and I guess there's a little video of it.
That is pretty cool. Not even gonna
Yeah.
lie.
So
You guys doing that this year?
yeah. So we're gonna try to get some tickets
Okay,
and everything, so we can go there and stuff.
that's
So
dope.
if you guys want to join us and everything, like we'll set up something so that way we can get tickets in the same time.
Yeah, hit me up for real. That would be
Well,
interesting.
definitely.
Again, like I can't skate, and if I break my leg, I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
that'll be a that'll be a Christmas, wouldn't it?
Right.
Yeah,
Oh
but
my
no,
god.
it looks really nice. Like it
Yeah.
looks really fun. and we've never experienced something like this. Now we've went through the drive-through ones, what is it, Garden Glow in
Okay,
St.
yes.
Louis.
Yes.
So
And the
we've
zoo
done
does
that.
something too, St. Louis Zoo. There's like a light show where you can walk through the zoo with the lights, so that's also pretty cool. The kids
Hmm.
really love that, you know.
Okay. Oh, I
And
didn't know they
so
did that.
yeah, it was really nice. It's just a really good time of year, I feel.
Yeah,
You know what I
it
mean? And
is.
it's my time. And so, but okay, all right. So we talked about ghost stories,
We talk about ghost
holidays,
stories.
Christmas. All
Yep.
right, now listen. I want to run through some scenarios. We're already two hours in, okay?
Okay. Okay.
And I just kind of wanted to see just, and we'll just do one scenario. Um, how would you deal with a situation and seeing if I would do the same thing or how you just would approach it, and maybe somebody in the audience may have experienced it, and I'm sure we all have. And so
Hmm.
what I wanted to talk about is like dealing in a scenario where you have a problematic environment. So like let's say you make a mistake or you have an unpopular opinion and then you become like the black sheep of a group of people you work with, or you're the one that people like tend to dislike. How would you maneuver that situation? you know um and it could be
Over
like
an
you feeling right.
over an opinion that nobody else agrees to, or
I
you're just
mean,
not being liked, or how's this? What do you mean?
so like let's say you make a mistake and like
Hmm.
you knew you effed up on something, and then now like it had caused issues for other people,
Hmm.
or like let's say you had an opinion, like you're very opinionated, and your
Hmm.
opinion caused like your coworkers to then like either not talk to you, or like they're talking about you. You tend to now have been kind of isolated and in a certain way, or like you just have to continue to maneuver that situation. Like what would you do?
Now,
you
am
know
I a in a leadership position,
You're just
or
a
I'm
regular
just a
person. Yeah, I mean,
regular
you
person?
could be in a leader position.
Because that dictates, the difference of how I would approach things, right? So if
Mhm.
I was just my peer to peer, they're talking about me because of my opinion or anything, we're fighting. No, I'm
Mhm.
just kidding. No.
We both
We're
losing our
throwing
jobs.
hands,
We gonna have
bro.
no jobs, and I'm fighting you at the unemployment line. God damn it.
No, but I mean, if it's just a peer to peer thing and stuff, and uh, I apparently ruined their lives because of my opinion and stuff, and uh, I mean, it'll get to a point where I'll try to mitigate the situation and see what the real problem is, and especially in what my opinion was,
Mhm.
and if I can't solve that problem for him, or if I can't help him solve that, then
Right.
we're gonna go separate ways and stuff. And I'll just be professional and just work in the same environment that you are, and it is what it is. But but if it was in a leadership position, obviously I'm gonna have to bring them both in. Well, I'll bring them in one at a time and stuff. Actually, get down to the boiling point and see
Mhm.
what actually caused that situation. And again, it's all about just investigating what really is the true meaning of why people got mad for it.
Right.
Now, I mean, it's like the I hate to bring this up, but like the election, a lot of people on the left side got extremely upset that Trump won and everything, and it's causing people to unfriend people and causing people to dislike other people because they support this class and stuff, and where on both sides there's good and bad,
Mhm.
so.
Yeah.
But again, like, don't mean to bring that up, but yeah, it's just all about what the actual root of why that opinion hurt that
Okay,
other
so let
person.
me let me put it in this sense. Okay, so and this has actually happened to me.
Okay.
So you me for those who don't know, me and Chris used to work together. And we worked in a place where your performance means a lot. Like it's a
Mhm.
physical job, and the your abilities, it does play a role with your coworkers because
Mhm.
everyone pulls their own weight, right?
Mhm.
Okay. And so let's say you're in a situation where, you know, you have a high work ethic and
Mhm.
you can see everybody else is not putting the same effort, and they have, in some ways, like, been able to get by with that. So then you get frustrated, you get annoyed, you say something, and even though you are right and you are, working harder than most, and you see people are just getting by, and you say, "Hey, listen, like you guys are just doing this. You're not really working as hard, and now you're isolated for the people around you. Yet this is like your everyday, and like it is just you versus everybody else. Like, would you feel more like, who cares? This is the job, and I don't care about having friends here. Um, but you are more so like isolated, and you know that people aren't really for you as a person. How would you combat that?
I mean, me as a person, like I don't care who if people like me and if they like me within the workforce, right?
Sure.
I can I can go on for 8 hours without talking to anybody and I'll be
Mhm.
completely fine. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
I mean, it may affect the job work, especially whenever you have to communicate with other people,
Mhm.
um, especially to get the job done. But to me, like I'm I'm a loner, you know what I'm saying? So I'll be able
Right. Right.
to get the job done by myself. Now, is it going to take a little bit longer, especially if it's group related? Yeah, maybe, but
Mhm.
it's going to get done at the end of the day, right?
Sure. And then that's a
So,
question, is like, is it best to like try to repair? So in that situation, the person working the hardest is technically in the right. And the
mhm,
people that are working less are technically in the wrong, but everybody feels like they're right. You know what I mean?
mhm,
So
yeah.
it's like it's a consistent battle. And um so do you think it's best to, in a situation, to repair or salvage a sense of like respect just because you work with people? Or do you think that, like, if in your day to day, since people generally go to work majority of their life to try to find a different solution and moving yourself out of a place where you may feel like you're attacked, or like you're a target in a way?
Right. I believe you should repair it as much as possible.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, and that being said, obviously work will get done a lot quicker
Hmm.
when it's a group setting.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it was up to me, then yes, I would try to repair as much as possible.
Hmm. And so, and then there's like the other side. So like I know a guy, that I worked with, and he's a younger guy, and
Mhm.
he made a few mistakes,
Mhm.
but mistakes that other people have made as well.
Mhm.
Um, but he kind of, I don't know what really occurred, but the guy kind of like started people started not to like him. And he had this realization of, well, like, I'm just going to start just to be nice to people, like I don't want to have issues with people. So he's
Mhm.
trying to make his work life more, comfortable, less intimidating, because if I got to go to this place majority of my life for 8 hours, like I don't want to always be on guard with people. Like I'd rather have, some type of like friendship, you know what I mean, or at least cordial
Yeah.
relationship. And no matter his efforts, the people still treated him and did not care for him. They tend to plot against him, and in some situations, I witnessed it. And I'm like, dude, that's fucked up. Like the dude is actually like being kind. So
Right.
the thing is, is it is making the effort to repair a work relationship even worth the potential failure? Like, do you think it's still worth trying to at least try to make a situation better, or do you think it's like I maybe a separation would be better? What would you
Uh,
think?
that's a good question. I mean, when it comes to that,
Mhm.
whew,
I know, it's like you never know. And then, like, a
yeah,
lastly thing would be like, how could you advise like a friend or a kid, like, or your children dealing with something like that, like as they get older and, you know, um, just dealing with life, you know?
yeah,
It's like, it's one of those things that stump. And that's why, like, in the intro, it's like, hey, if you guys know, like, if you've been through this, like, what did you do? And I was in a situation similar to that, and
hmm,
I knew it was my everyday, so I was just trying to make the best of my everyday because I didn't wanna be pissed off every day. I didn't really It's never good to dread going into work,
hmm,
because it's like that's how you start. If you start upset and, like, anxious and not I mean, it's only generally gets worse from there. So,
hmm,
but it sounds like you would, like, at least try to repair it in the
yeah,
sense
no,
of where it's
definitely,
cordial just to get the job done,
yeah.
you
Like I said,
know?
I can be in a workforce where I can be completely professional and not be friends with anybody,
Sure.
and I mean, it is what it is and how things go. But uh, it, I mean, then it goes on to saying like, can the other people be just as cordial as me? But
Exactly. Exactly. And I think
so,
that's where you kinda see it's like, because we could be prideful, you know what I mean?
hmm,
It's like, I'm not gonna, like, crawl to nobody, I'm not gonna like, I'd rather just not talk to anybody, but then
yep,
there is a sense of, like, logical thinking where it's like, "But it's probably best."
right,
Yeah,
yeah,
and
yeah,
in the example, like, with the guy I know, it's like he made the effort and he got nothing in return,
right,
which was, you know, almost something that you can't predict in a world that we live in. Like, you almost have to understand that it's a possibility,
yeah,
but I don't think it should really change, you know, you at least trying, because I think if you can get I think we all would work better when we are happier or able to work next to each other versus having this type of like uh not hatred, but having this feeling against one another. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
you're just more efficient.
No,
So,
yeah, I get it.
you know.
That's
Okay,
interesting.
so scenario 2, and this is all we got. In your experience, so you find yourself in a rut, but you struggle to find like a good outlet. And your
Mhm.
biggest concern is like you don't want to end up in a depression. Um, what is the first thing you do to get mental clarity? So, like, what do you do to escape? Now, you've mentioned that you like doing photography.
Yeah.
To get mental clarity, is that what you do, or like, do you do something else to kind of help change, or at least give you a good feeling?
Right. That's whew, that's a good one because everybody deals with adversity in different ways.
Hmm.
I've always dealt with mine in a loner case. I've always dealt with my demons by myself.
Hmm.
Um, I have so much things that can distract me. I mean, now I'm not saying that my way is the correct way,
Sure.
but I definitely say that it helps me um with with it's really hard to explain. Like I
Yeah.
said, it's what I do in the process.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't necessarily tell people to do it my way because it's really hard to just like
Sure.
um process information, especially whenever you have to actually do have to vent and stuff. Now venting
Right.
is, I think, the best possible way to do things,
Hmm.
but it's hard to say, dude. It's
Yeah. No, I definitely get it. Um, and so like so for something like so for me, like if I wanted to get like mental clarity, like I generally like I think that's what started like me always going to the gym
Mhm.
was like that's where I kind of would go to kind of like have a form of like mental clarity.
Right.
And
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
if I need to feel good, that's probably where I'm going to go.
Yeah.
I also noticed like if I distract myself with something new, like
Mhm.
if I want to, and that I kind of got into music theory, and you kind of know that, like that's it was almost like a defense mechanism of me wanting to invest in a new idea or this new learning for me to kind of like get some clarity.
Yeah.
Also, somewhat of a distraction because being in a rut, it's normal. Like not
Yeah.
every day is going to be happy, and that's all. It's not a realistic thing, to do. But one thing I do notice, like even like for people and especially for kids, like when if a kid is in a bad rut, the best thing to do is what? It's like going to be a distraction, something
Yeah.
that's going to make them feel good. So that generally that's going to be like play, like or making them laugh. Like if you can distract them, that's another way to also change a mindset. And if for those of you who didn't catch the real that Chris started, and his message was about like essentially smiling and trying to divert from the negative,
Yeah.
and essentially going to that as like being a place where you can reflect. You know what
Yep.
I mean? And kind of analyze like your situation or almost distract you. Like, and laughing is a good thing. And that was like it's they say laughter is medicine.
Yeah.
So like what would you say like to your kids, like if you kind of see them in the rut, for me, like I would if I see my kid in a rut and you can really see like something, especially as they get teenagers, and I know that that like as they get older, it's like they tend to bottle a lot more shit in,
Yeah.
like getting them out, like doing something with them. And it's cool because like you're a soccer coach,
Mhm.
and so like you have that connection, but like I think distracting them and making them do something fun is like a good way of like distracting. But like, what would you do if you see
So
like your kid in a rut?
so I always say like obviously distracting is just a band-aid because
Okay.
the problem is always going to be there.
Yeah.
So if I was to give my kids advice and everything, especially since one of them is already in high school,
Sure.
and I hope to God that he will come to me for any advice that he or any for advice for any obstacle that he goes through. You got to start realizing like, or you got to analyze what the problem is, right?
Right.
What the deficiency is, and then once actually know what that is, start to think about what you can do to improve the situation or how you can improve the situation, or if there is a problem, um or if there is a solution in any way, right? Because not everything uh can be solved. Sometimes you're just
Right.
gonna have to ride the wave and then
True. True.
and just allow it to happen. It's gonna be a rut that you're gonna have to go through. You're just gonna have to crawl through the dirt, and then you're gonna eventually get out.
Right.
You know.
And then I mean that is very true. And there's that thing where like everybody deals with a season,
Yeah.
and some seasons are good and some they may last a long time or they are short lived and you're living in like a dark season and they
Yep.
may last long, but there's always like a, a light at the end.
Yeah.
And then if
Yep.
you, it depends on how you look at it, what lessons that I learned during this time, like what did I need to know?
Mhm.
Um, and, so no, I completely get that. You know,
Yeah.
I find that like for me, in those type of ruts to like just maintain, I always like I think learning eh, distraction by growth. Let's say that.
Mhm.
Because you could distract by many things. You could distract using drugs, you could distract by getting into relationships. Like there's so many different things that you can do that is
Mhm.
just like gratification type things,
Yeah.
and in the book that by Marcus Aurelius, Meditations, he talks about like um it can that's a sign of like weakness and not control. Like you lusting after like just getting a gratification, that is a sign of weakness in a way. Like that's what you're so driven for, so you can be easily manipulated by it.
Right. Yeah,
But being
yeah.
distracted by like growing, so like maybe like you want to learn something or you're going to improve yourself, like and just learning a new skill, maybe like changing your body. Like there are different ways of like a distraction that's in a good way, like educating yourself, and um I think that's one of the ways I would go about it too. If I'm in a rut, learning I think is just better, because then through the learning and through the struggle of learning, and then you start to understand whatever you're trying to learn, you start to build confidence,
Yep.
and it's like, oh yeah, I did that, and this was really complicated, and I was able to do that.
Yeah.
But essentially, ruts are inevitable. They're a part of life, and they're
Y-
a part of going through them is how to get through them. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, and it all, boils down to how much you love yourself, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And everybody here in the world should love themselves, first before they love anybody else. Because if you don't love yourself, then it's going to get to a point where you're affecting the people around you.
Yeah.
Um, Even
Yeah.
though you don't mean to do.
Yeah.
It's the way it is. So if you're in a place where you love everybody else, but you hate yourself, you're gonna have to take a step back. You know,
Yeah.
Even if that means that you're gonna have to isolate yourself until you
Mhm.
figure out that way or figure out that problem that you need to do to love yourself again.
Yeah. And I think
You know?
that's what most people do. They kind of
Yeah.
put themselves to the side,
Hmm.
for the sake of other people,
Yeah.
and so yeah, self-care is a big thing. It's a big
Yeah.
thing. But
No,
yeah, I just
definitely.
wanted to run through those scenarios with you and see what you do. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate to what we kind of said.
Yeah.
And so that was pretty much what we were trying, and hope you guys liked it, as far as going through these different scenarios and what we would do individually. And again, if you've been through something similar, which these are real life scenarios, don't forget to comment and let us know maybe what you went about a situation and what
Yeah.
turned well, and even for those that things didn't go well, what did you do in that situation? So
Hmm.
I think this has
Yeah. So
been dope.
remember, everybody, like Legacy of Ours is a podcast that helps build other people in the experiences that you've had. So if you're holding back your experiences and not like really sharing with us what you have, like how people are going to actually grow from
Hmm.
their troubles and stuff. So if you guys comment, we'll definitely reply and everything. And if we have a chance and if our schedules line up and everything, we'll even have you on the show and things
Yeah.
will move forward and
Yeah.
everything.
I think we should
So
start doing shout outs too. Like, but you gotta
definitely.
comment. You gotta engage and let us know. Just let yourself you'll probably help somebody,
Yep.
just even us. Like I said, this is um kind of like a give and take type podcast. Like we're feeding off each other and
Yep.
and based on experiences. So
Yeah.
I think this has been dope, dude.
I think so too. The stories are funny. The conversations are great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So till next week.
Till next week, to the
All
legacy.
right. To the
All right.
legacy.